Hiya and welcome to the Red Men TV. It is the Uncensored match build-up for Liverpool away at the Stadium of Light to Sunderland. I'm joined by Dan and Luke for this one. Luke, was we here for Manchester City's build-up?
I don't think I was here for Manchester City's build-up, no.
I don't think so.
Well, let me tell you, it was Ian and Lewis, and I think we were a little bit positive going into that game. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not sure I have any positivity, Luke. Do you?
I think I do. I didn't think the performance against City was too bad. I thought the wheels just fell off a little bit towards the end. But I felt like we probably could have won the game and probably should have done. I think we missed too many chances. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we just shot ourselves in the foot, didn't we?
We absolutely shot ourselves
if we can mirror that 20-minute, half an hour spell of second half football, then yeah, we're capable.
I think we rode our luck first half, didn't we? And then second half, I think at one point in the game we could have been 3-0 up.
Oh, we could have easily. But the problem is Liverpool weren't, and then ultimately they kind of like just
imploded a bit.
Yeah, they just imploded a bit, and also went a bit negative. But we will move on to Sunderland. Sunderland, who we will focus on them for the first half, they are in 9th on 36 points, Dan. Only 3 points off us in 6th. But my word, what a return to the Premier League for them.
Yeah, you know what, credit where credit's due, because more recent examples of newly promoted sides have been pretty bleak watching, haven't they, to be honest? They've gone down without a whimper in most cases, fair to say, and in some ways they've almost been like record-breakingly bad, haven't they, in recent years? They've threatened Ipswich's Derby's long-standing punch record, I should say, rather, a few times around. And I think everyone expected similar from Sunderland, especially when you take a look at, we've spent a large portion of the season talking about our own sort of squad overhaul and upheaval. Yeah. Sunderland ripped it up and started again, more or less, in terms of their squad. Like, they really did have to go out and spend big, and there's 16 new players, I think, coming in, something crazy like that, and it never really works when that happens. But fair dues to the manager, Reggie Libri, and fair dues to the recruitment side of things as well, because they've spent really wisely and they've picked up some, relatively unproven, unheard of in some cases, players, as well as bringing back the experience and the quality of Granit Xhaka. So yeah, it's been an interesting one. And even when you go further back to how they got to the Premier League, obviously it was via the playoffs, but they basically did what I think in American sports, I know you're a fan of like NFL and all that sort of stuff, they sort of tank towards the end of the season, just on purpose. And Sunderland essentially did that in the Championship, just stopped playing everyone just to rest all the big lads, and then brought them back for the playoffs. And you think, well, that's not going to work, that's never worked before. But here they are, against conventional wisdom, they've been exceptional, to be fair. Yeah,
they have, and I'm just going to read out some of the players, Luke. Obviously Xhaka is their captain, former Arsenal player there. Brian Brobby, who came from Ajax, decent striker, is actually their top goal scorer with 5. Ronaldo, I can't say his name. Did he play for Atletico Madrid? Is that the player I'm thinking of?
I'm not too sure. I know Renan Lodge was the left back. Maybe give that a check. He might have done.
But they've got him. They've got Gertrude, who was a Liverpool target in the January window, because obviously we're without quite a lot of our players in that right back situation. They've got Mukulele, which I think is decent. Traore, Adingra as well from Brighton, I think.
He's gone, I think.
Is he gone now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gone.
That's sad.
Sure he's a good player, though.
Very good player.
He has gone to AS Monaco. That is dead sad for them.
Yeah.
I can't believe they've actually got rid of him. But Daniel Ballard, they've got quite a good group of players there who have some, experience in the top five leagues. So, they've done really well to recruit these players, bring them in, and the way they're playing, fair play to that. Yeah,
I think you need to take your hat off to the recruitment, really, because like Dan said just before, usually when you come in and you go for the big overhaul, it never works. Usually you change way too much, but they seem to have just hit the sweet spot and got it just right. In terms of like Liverpool going there to play them, I'm pretty sure Granit Xhaka's got an ankle. So I don't think he's going to play, which is a big blessing for us, because although at Arsenal, to be honest, I'd say they didn't really get on with him, did he? Let's be honest. He had a bit of a tough time towards the end of it. Like, I'm pretty sure he was booed off on one occasion.
Right, he gave it him back as well, I think.
Yeah, he did, And he sort of gone to Leverkusen and sort of revitalised himself a bit. But you're looking at that from the outside, looking in and going, the league's a bit slower, got a bit more time in the ball. He was never the quickest of lads. Then he's come back to the Premier League and he's the business, to be honest. I wouldn't mind him on our side.
Yeah. But fair play to them. I actually think they're really quite exciting to watch at times. They're really aggressive and physical as well. And most importantly, they are the only unbeaten team at home this season in the Premier League, winning 7 and drawing 5. So I've never been in the stadium like that. It will be my first time, but it sounds like it's going to be quite a daunting task for Liverpool in terms of just the atmosphere that they're going to create.
Yeah, listen, it's a big football club, first and foremost. They've had to reinvent themselves in many ways, going down to League One, and most people, I certainly watched the documentary on Netflix, Sunderland Until I Die, and have somewhat of an affinity with the football club following that. I'm, clearly not a fan of theirs, but still, it was hard not to watch that and have some sort of sympathy with the situation, the ownership struggles they've had down the years. They've had it tough, in so much as football fans have it difficult. Sunderland definitely did. So, yeah, to go so low and then to come back, I think they felt like the stadium had to be a fortress if they're going to stand a chance of survival in the Premier League, and they've made it exactly that. It's a really passionate fan base. We speak about football being sort of the lifeblood of this city, don't we? It's most definitely that up there as well. It really is proper sort of, with all due respect, old school working class throwback sort of town and place. So football is absolutely everything. And yeah, they've made stadium a really, really daunting, difficult place to go. The atmosphere is incredible up there. Certainly will be the case tomorrow night under the lights. I've been up there, I think, twice in my life. It's a great place. It's a long way from here, but it's a great stadium. It's a proper football stadium. So when you speak about Villa Park and places like that, sort of old school, it feels like footy. You know what I mean? And yeah, credit to them for their home record, because again, I'm sure Reggie Labrie would have been heading into the season not beyond his wildest dreams, thinking they'd be in February and still unbeaten at home. But yeah, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, we'll move on to the last 5 then. They've lost 3 and won 2. The latest defeat came against Arsenal at the Emirates, a 3-0 loss there, which, actually in that game, from what I remember and seeing of it, they actually did quite well.
Competitive again.
They were quite competitive in it, and Arsenal eventually run away with it in the end, but they were quite good in that game of football. They've also drawn to, I think, both Arsenal and City at home. So, they're a team who really can, bully you. They can stifle you. They can make sure that, they can stay resilient. They've got that in them. But at the same time, they've got players up top who can put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, Brian Brobby, I think it was a little dink. I've seen one of his goals from an absolute insane angle where he dinks it over the goalkeeper somehow. They do have quality. Is it Lefay who missed a horrendous penalty?
Panenka's one on Callagher.
Yeah.
Lovely player, though.
Yeah.
For all the physics, sorry, I know I'm interrupting your question, but for all the physicality and the competitiveness and the work rate they offer, because they've got all of that Enzo Lefay is nice little sophisticated.
When he's not doing Panenkas.
When he's not doing that nonsense, but he's a good little player.
Yeah, he is. And he finds himself in the good positions inside the box to finish off chances as well, Luke.
Yeah, he does. I mean, just to touch on quickly with that sort of their away form and home form, they're a bit like Liverpool, to be honest. Away from home, they're a completely different side, but at home, it's a fortress. They remind me a bit of Conte's Chelsea at home. They've only conceded 9 all season. The only teams better than that are City and Arsenal have 8. So we're going to have a tough task of scoring a goal.
Which one are we good at, by the way?
I feel like the results haven't been there recently, but we have played well at home the last couple of performances. I think I do really believe we should have won that City game, and I think we haven't been creating a lot of chances away. Arsenal, we don't get a goal, we score a lucky flick on, but obviously it's disallowed from Bradley. Bournemouth's just set pieces, and just sort of knocking them in the back of the net. Away from home, I think we really, really struggle. The only outlier to that of late is Marseille. Yeah. That's Europeans. It's a completely different ball game. To touch on Brobby as well, he sort of won the start at the start of the year. He wasn't really fancied, and he sort of come in. And I was having a little look at him on SofaScore earlier, and he's got a really underperforming XG. So he's 5 goals and 2.5 for the expected. So he's a bit like Hugo Ekitike when we bought him in that sense.
Oh, well.
They've got goals.
You've put him up there now.
I have, yeah.
They have got goals in them. You mentioned Bobby there. Luke's right. He wasn't first choice early on the season. He was coming on and making impacts from the bench, and I think he sort of forced his way into that reckoning. Yeah. But even beyond that, Isidore scored, Mayenda scores goals. Again,
I think they're both their recent forms, though, in Isidore and Brobby, they're not great. Their recent sort of goals to game ratio minutes, they're not amazing in sort of the last 5 games. So I think that's in our favour. Come on, I'm trying to dig us up here. Trying to give us a chance.
You know what comes there. No, but my point, whilst the stats and the numbers don't jump off the page, do you? Luke's right. They're proper 9s, the goal threats.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? And they use them as such. They've got that focal point element going. They're not like, let's just get men behind the ball and suffer and maybe we'll nick something on a counter-attack. Like, again, they did put it on your toe, especially at home. Yeah. And those three aforementioned front men are lads that have all got goal capabilities, all goal threats. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough assignment.
It is, and also for them, like, they've only just came up the 9th. They're above their rivals in Newcastle, which, by the way, I did enjoy seeing them win against Newcastle. Like, just as a fan, imagine yourself in that position. This is a team that have just been above you for how long? And all of a sudden they've waltzed into the Prem. And at the moment in time, they are 3 points ahead of Newcastle as well. So, you know, the other teams who came up with them, Burnley and Leeds, they've kind of blown them away as well. So, I mean, I really do think it's going to be a very tough ask for Liverpool. The first 15 minutes, we need to take this thing out of the atmosphere, Dan, and try and just control the game a little bit. They've got long throw-ins, don't they? That's a little bit concerning for me if they do have them.
Who doesn't?
That's a good question. These will utilise. Maybe City don't have long throw-ins.
No, maybe not actually thinking about it. But listen, Liverpool need to match them. And I think it's never more important than them first 15 minutes, as you referenced there, certainly away from home, certainly in an atmosphere like this is going to be in like the stadium of like faithful will provide, because they've got an unbeaten, unblemished home record for a reason. And ultimately, we know we've got serious question marks around Liverpool's ability to last 90 minutes right now. There's reservations around just how fit a large number of the lads are. But, you know, one fundamental element of our performance that just has to stand up to this test and needs to change in many ways if we're going to win or match them across the park is that work rate, is the work ethic, is the desire to put a shift in, because they will have tons and tons of that. They'll have the appetite for it. So we need to run, we need to fight, we need to win our duels, like, because it's going to be really, really testing otherwise. And then you can let your quality show. Once you've earned the right to play against someone like Sunderland in an atmosphere like this, then you can kick on from there. But don't do that, they'll run all over us. They will just swarm us and won't be able to live with them. So, yeah, it's going to be difficult, but not impossible, despite their home record.
Yes. Well, we will get on to the Liverpool point of view and have a look at how Liverpool should attack this game. Also, Slot's press conference did just finish before we went live. And, you know, we'll tell you all about Calvin Ramsey and his availability and whether you'll see anything of him. Spoiler alert. No. But anyway, we'll be back after this.
How would you like to win this? A Liverpool shirt signed by the past master himself, Mr. Jan Molby. Well, at the end of February, we'll be giving away this shirt to one of our lucky Redmen Plus Legend subscribers. If you want to be in that draw, and in fact in every prize draw that we do throughout the entirety of 2026, download the Redmen Plus app, subscribe as a Legend tier subscriber, either on a monthly or a yearly basis, and you'll be in those prize draws. And yeah, at the end of February, one of you lucky people will be winning a shirt signed by Jan Molby. Download the app, become a legend, get yourselves involved.
Yeah.
Conference.
Yeah, because it looks like they're going to extend to 8th there now.
Oh, we are back. Sorry. We were just chatting about Sunderland. And in fact, you can go on your point. You can tell everybody else.
Yeah, I was just saying I think Sunderland might nick Europe because sort of it looks like it's going to extend to 8th given the Carabao Cup final, FA Cup final still in the works, still a lot of the big teams in it. I reckon they are going to get Europe, and I reckon the squad's quite deep. I reckon they'll do all right.
Yeah, fair play to them. I'm fine with it. I don't really have anything against Sunderland, to be honest. I might have something against Sunderland come tomorrow night, but at this current moment in time, that's fine. I've got no problems with them. Let's move on to Liverpool then. Liverpool team news, there's obviously no Dom after his red card v City. Gomez is to train today for the very first time. So I really doubt that he's going to be able to play minutes in this game of football. But, you know, maybe he might be available to be on the bench and not be used, because that's what we do. He mentioned Curtis and Wataru Endo as potentially being right-back options, Dan. And someone then went to him, but, like, what about putting, you know, a round circle in, like, a circle, lads? Like, what about just the pegs fitting and putting Calvin Ramsey there? And basically, from his response, I can tell you now, Dan, he won't be playing a minute of football tomorrow.
No, I wasn't convinced he was particularly enamoured with the idea of a Calvin Ramsey, the right back, playing the right back tomorrow night, I must admit. Listen, Yeah, I listen. I made it pretty clear yesterday what I would be doing. I'd be playing Calvin Ramsey right back because, lo and behold, he is a right back, and I think we're so short on options. Full stop. Having somebody there who is a natural in position instead of putting a midfielder there makes an abundance of sense. The midfielders running out of legs left, right and centre, so why would you further hamper yourself? Wataru Endo's a year older as well as of yesterday, so maybe we shouldn't be looking towards him. But I think Calvin, and I feel very sorry for Calvin Ramsey because I'm sure he's perfectly fine, but this treatment of him, and it's almost getting worse as each game passes. Because not only is Arne Slot overlooking him, and obviously we're speaking ahead of time, he may well start, he may well get minutes tomorrow night, and it might be a different story. But because of the noise and us as fans kind of calling for it now, I think the whole situation is just getting uglier and uglier in many ways. And Calvin's probably just sat there like, I'm just going about my business, mate. I'm just here, ready and available whenever you want. And I like Calvin Ramsey. He's had a hard time since he arrived at Liverpool. He came with loads and loads of high hopes, aspirations. Liverpool spent best part of 10 million quid to bring him down from Aberdeen. Really, prospect and sort of potential future Liverpool right back. Hasn't worked. Conor Bradley came in. He's had to go on some loans, got injuries, etc. This feels like now or never, doesn't it, for him? And whatever happens in the summer now, I think he'll move on in the summer regardless. But for God's sake, he's an actual right back playing there.
Honestly, it's blowing my mind, Luke.
What frustrates me with the whole situation is in the breath before, he basically just said, we've had loads of injuries, we've played loads of lads out of position, all the rest of it. We need to look at who's fit, squad rotation, blah, blah, blah. If we play Jones right back, who comes on off the bench? Because if we're chasing the game or it's 0-0, he won't bring Wataru Endo on. You instantly shot yourself in the foot. You know what I mean? You're a man down. You're looking at the bench, and it's probably the only midfield option would probably be Trey. Am I right in saying that? Can't think of anyone else. Yeah, exactly. So, and he knock in the middle of the park. He's restructuring straight away, and he won't sub Wataru Endo on unless we're winning. So, and there's a high chance this is going to be 0-0 going late on. And in my opinion, Gravenberch, after about 70-75 minutes, he looks shot. Macca's looked shot for the best part of the whole season. It's going to be an intense game. There's going to be a lot of running involved. There's a good chance here we're going to get run off the park. Just out of pure legs, we'll just have no energy left.
And Ramsey is again he is a senior-ish right back. He's played a decent amount of senior football. Again, the loans he's been on generally haven't worked, but he's certainly been around senior realms. We aren't just plucking him out of the academy. He's not 16, 17, still wet behind the ears. He's shining. It's not like we're taking Rio and Gamoa as a right back, you know what I mean? But he hasn't been featuring at all.
Can he play right back?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's been in and around it for long enough now.
He'll probably play right back before Calvin Ramsey.
Yeah, but take your boots, Luke, just in case we need you. No, listen, I'd be all in on Calvin Ramsey because I think the one time we have seen him in the season, I thought he equipped himself perfectly fine against Crystal Palace. He's got loads and loads of quality in terms of their ball deliveries, in terms of his attacking prowess as well. That's what made us sign him in the first place. And again, I come back to it. He is an actual right back. He understands the nuances of what it means to play as a right back, body position, etc. Yeah, so just do it.
Yeah, I'd love for him to do it. He's not going to do it. No. He basically said, you all keep moaning about it, but I'm just going to keep doing the same thing, and I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow as well. That was basically along the lines of what he said. But Luke, this doesn't help him out for me, because next time you start moaning about your midfield and them being tired and not having availability and not having options, well, it's your own fault, mate, because you're playing the actual substitute centre mid at right back, so then there's nobody there instead of a right back who is fit and available. So for me, it doesn't help him out in terms of him talking about his squad and his squad being shattered and how he doesn't have options, because he does have options. It's just he doesn't trust them and therefore doesn't choose them. Yeah,
but we can talk about all the external pressure of the fans asking Calvin Ramsey to play and say and play right back at right back. But he just doesn't care. That's really harsh on Ali Slot. That's he doesn't care about the outside pressure, and he's never ever given into it. So he's not going to start giving in now. Because to be honest, if he does start giving in now, does that show a bit of weakness? You know what I mean? Does that show that he's listening to the outside? No, he's a man who prides himself on not listening to too much of the media. So it goes against his own word, really. If he starts going, there's a bit of noise here, I'll just play him. He'll never admit to doing that, but that's essentially what will happen. So, yeah, he's not going to give in to the outside and the external pressure. There's little internal pressure, in my opinion, because the man seems really confident, although he was tripping over his own words in the Man City post-match press conference, wasn't he? So,
Yeah, it's quite infuriating because he's going to sit on the bench and just not come on either way. I mean, I don't know what situation we have to be in for a right back to start at right back. Like, does Curtis Jones need to also have an injury, or is he then going to put Wataru Endo on there at right back instead of Calvin Ramsey? Like, how many options need to fall before Liverpool have no option but to pick up the likes of Calvin Ramsey? I also think what he said about him weeks ago wasn't great.
No.
And I don't think since then, like even today, it wasn't like Calvin Ramsey's doing brilliant. He's working really hard. Yeah. Glad he's an option. But, you know, I'm going to go with Premier League experience. It wasn't even...
In a roundabout way, he just said he's rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah.
If we're just going to cut it like there. He just said he's rubbish in a really roundabout way. And how are you going to take that as a player?
No, the handling of it and the ego boost or lack thereof has definitely been there for all to see. Because I thought the comments a few weeks ago were a little bit out of order, if I'm being brutally honest. And it just felt unnecessary, actually, more than anything else. Because you're right, because we were heading towards a situation that you could argue we're now in, whereby we were in desperate, dire need of a right back and probably Calvin Ramsey. So even 2 weeks ago, we could have maybe foresaw this happening and just played it clever and played it smart and said what you've just said there. Listen, he's been training really, really well. We're glad to have him part of the group. Yeah. He's helping us out. Like, he's been great. He's dropped down to 21s and put in some really good performances. I've been speaking to Rob Page, the manager. Like, everyone's made up of him. Glad to see him back. All that sort of pumping up his tyres a little bit. But you don't get that with Arne Slot. He's not bothered, ultimately. No. That also sounds really harsh.
Yeah.
But we've got now enough evidence of the way he speaks about young players especially, and he is just quite ruthless, isn't he? It's black and white. It is what it is. He says what he thinks, and if you were Calvin Ramsey and you were sat there 2 weeks ago, you'd be going, oh, hang on a minute, like, I'm working my socks off here. Like, I've had a really difficult couple of years. I feel like I'm finally getting back to my best, and yet you don't fancy me. No. It just feels, not very helpful.
Like, if he ever does need to rely on Calvin Ramsey, let's hope he for some reason, has ignored what's happened before. Because if he knocked on your door and you were at the final stages of the season, by the way, he's probably going to get a move, doesn't want to get injured. And Slot comes and knocks on your door and says, hiya, mate, not played you all season, not said the best about you, could you just play 90 for me? Like, if I was Calvin Ramsey, I'd be like, no, I'm going off in the summer. Like, I'm getting a move.
If Arnie Slot's house was on fire, do you reckon Calvin Ramsey would save him at this given moment?
What we don't know is, and I'm going to play devil's advocate just momentarily,
how good he actually is.
No, not so much that, because I think he's a perfectly capable right back option. Whether he's top level Premier League is a different conversation. And we've seen in the past, by the way, it's worth mentioning, that just putting perfectly capable, natural people in their position does sometimes
work. Sometimes.
But we don't know how Arne Slot is behind the scenes with these players. Like, he might be an arm around the shoulder. He might say all the right things to Calvin Ramsey in training, and he might come out and he seems quite cold, and he comes across like he doesn't really care too much about protecting these youngsters in press conferences. Then he might literally walk straight up to Calvin Ramsey when they're having dinner in the canteen and say, listen, I still love you, I still trust you, your chance will come, all that sort of stuff. So we need to be somewhat careful. But again, to the outside world, it hasn't come across brilliantly, I don't think, his handling of him.
No, it hasn't. So then we'll go through the starting 11. Goalkeeper Alisson, because obviously. Right back, who are we going with? I'm going to make it dead easy for you. It's either Wataru Endo or Curtis Jones, guys.
I can see it being Curtis, personally.
Yeah, I think it'd be Curtis Jones. If I was picking, I'd pick Wataru Endo, because I love him, as we know.
I just don't, and listen, this could be said for a lot of Liverpool's players right now, I don't know how ready for 60, 70 minutes, maybe 90 minutes Wataru Endo is.
Endo is, well, that's because he's been playing. Yeah.
No, that's not to say that he shouldn't be, or maybe we should have got into a position whereby he is, but I just don't think he is. So therefore, it's probably Curtis Jones.
At least, and also if you go Jones, I guess on Saturday when we play, Dom will be back. Therefore, you can either choose to put Jones back on the bench and he's not completely shattered, or you can play and you can give one of the midfielders a rest if Dom goes back at right back. But, we will have to see. Maybe Joe Gomez might have actually had some training sessions before then. Who really knows? Let's get on to the two centre-backs. Obviously, Ibu and Verge, they picked themselves. Are you going with Robbo back into the squad, saving Kirkaz for Saturday, or are you sticking with Kirkaz for this one?
I'm going to stick with Kirkaz for this one. I think you're at a point now with him, and this is actually sort of how he should have played out.
He does look shattered though once it's like 65.
Again, who doesn't? And that's where I think Robertson comes in and helps you helps you see the game out. Yeah, but I would go with Kirkes. I think, again, we're seeing a relatively strong level of consistent performance from him, and I don't think you want to put a stop to that at any point. So he just is now your left back. I was against him being our left back from day one. Personally, I would have allowed the transition to happen more naturally and the passing of the baton to sort of be around this point. But we found ourselves here now, so kind of just run with it a little bit.
Yeah. What about you, Lou?
I'm Kirkes as well. I think he'll rotate the squad slightly for the FA Cup. He'll take it more seriously than he did last season, as we know. But you can play Rabbo on Saturday and sort of say, right, Kirkes, put it in for this one, and then you can have a rest.
I fear that, you know, we've kind of gone through the two positions that could be swapped, because I'm not sure you've got any changes in the next 6 spaces. Who are you having in your midfield, Dan?
Yeah, it picks itself, doesn't it? And again, that's mainly due to it. I love it to pick itself because it's purring right now, and just no one can force their way into it. But it's picked itself because of necessity, doesn't it? Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, and Flavian Wirtz.
Yep. It's the only thing that can happen.
There's no point even speaking.
Forwards then, Luke?
Forwards, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah, Hugo Ekitike. I mean, who else are you going to pick? You know what I mean?
Can I ask you though, sorry, would that be your choice? Because I know a lot of fans have been clamouring for some Rio Ingamo action on the left-hand side.
I think I would love to see Rio Ingamo play more football. However, Stadium a light away with their defensive record, I don't think that's a Rio Ingamo game of football. I think that's one where he's going to get volleyed off the park.
I think you can bring them on earlier than what we usually bring them on. My point is, and I think Paul said it on the show the other day, Cody Gakpo, I've not got the greatest things to say about him right now in terms of his performances. But what I can tell you is he somehow looks the fittest player in the entire front three. So, like, I mean, Hugo Ekitike, I don't know what Hugo Ekitike is going to show up me. Because it could be the Hugo Ekitike who came on against Bournemouth. He'd played the 90 the game before. And then he came on with like 25 to go at Bournemouth, and he could not run. The lad literally could not run. So I've got no idea what level and what Hugo Ekitike shows up, because he might just be shattered. I've seen no proof that he can do this.
I thought on Sunday, I thought his movement looked good, and sort of I thought he did look quite quick, to be honest. But it was just the finishing weren't there. He had the opportunity to score a couple of goals.
But in the last 20 minutes, everybody was shattered.
Yeah, that goes for everyone though. Like,
it does. Yeah. But my point being is, if there's one person who's not being able to do 90 minutes,
it's him.
It's him.
It always
so
is
then
him,
asking him to go to the well 3 times in a week is.
Well, I don't think he'll play Saturday.
I mean, what's the alternative? Gakpo starts in the middle.
You say that, right? Yeah, but Slot might think that's just as important.
I don't think it's just as important. I think he'll place more importance on it than previously, i.e. last season away at Plymouth. But I don't think Ekitike's fitness allows him to play tomorrow night and on Saturday, personally, and he has to play tomorrow night. That's absolutely nailed on. So I think he'll find a way.
But would it shock you if he
at the weekend through the middle, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
Would it shock you though if he was not, like, if he was absolutely shattered?
Oh no!
Like,
oh God, no!
No, I think if he's not going to play Hugo Ekitike, I can't see him starting Chiesa, even though he fancies Chiesa more of a 9 than a winger, in my opinion. But then he has to start making wholesale changes. Then you've probably got to play Endo at right back. You've got to play Jones midfield and then play Wirtz on the wing. So that's probably what he'd have to do.
I think that's all you can do. I think you've got to start those 3. But what I'm saying is, I just don't know what Hugo Ekitike is going to show up, because I don't know what his fitness is going to allow him to do. And I just go back to Bournemouth. Was it Marseille we had before Bournemouth? He played quite well in that game of football. And, you know, you did go man for man, so it is a lot of fitness that you're taking out of yourself. But, like, he came on again in that Bournemouth game, and it was the Evan Nielsen chance where some lad just absolutely runs through our midfield for about 60 yards, no one touching him. And Hugo Ekitike is the one who he gets past first, and the one who's just came on, who should have the most fitness. And he looked shattered. So I'm just concerned that some of our players, like McAllister, I'm scared, Ryan Gravenberch, I'm scared of what these players are going to look like on tomorrow, because they're getting ran in the ground because we don't have options.
To be honest, with Chloe, I do think Ekitike might be carrying some sort of knock, because I wasn't totally convinced the other week when he was injured. They were like, oh, it's DOMS. For anyone who doesn't know what DOMS is, it's delayed onset muscle soreness. It's just when you go to the gym and you come home and you're a bit here for the next 2 days, and I'm thinking, DOMS, and he's out for like a week. Like like that doesn't.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Extended
You know what I mean?
beyond what I thought that should have been. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think we're in a position whereby these lads just keep having to go to the well.
Yeah.
And as I say, they'll certainly pull up afterwards, but I think it will be with one eye on the fact that the majority of them won't be involved at the weekend. There'll be a couple that will, and there'll be a couple that maybe come up fresh and can go again, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I know he wants to put more emphasis and put more eggs in the FA Cup basket. I just don't think this squad allows him to. I think we're going to have to see real wholesale change. It'll still be a strongish side, but it's going to be a side that sees 8 or 9 changes the weekend, because tomorrow night is going to be all in again.
I think if he doesn't win on Wednesday and we go out the FA Cup on Saturday, the pressure's on. Like, it really is, because when we lost to Plymouth last year, we saw it because we were still in Europe. I feel like he got away with it. We were still upset about it, but I feel like we need to be chasing that FA Cup now. You know what I mean?
He said as much as well. That's the problem. He hasn't wrote off the FA Cup in the same way. No. He's essentially grouped that in with the Champions League as being like as important as one another. Yeah. He said, the league's obviously gone away from us now. The top 4/5 race, we clearly want and desperate to make ourselves known in that. But now the FA Cup and the Champions League is really, really important. So as you say, go out of one of them. Dear me.
Yeah, it's tough times for Liverpool. We've got to show up. I've got some pre-match stats, but I'll quiz you because that's funny. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Liverpool have faced Sunderland 66 times, home and away. How many times have Liverpool lost?
Lost?
Yeah.
66 matches?
Yeah.
Let's say we've won 40 of them. Is that optimistic? That might be optimistic.
I think that's a bit optimistic.
I mean, I can see the results, so
okay,
I can't join in
35 wins, 15 draws, I'm going to 16 defeats.
16, what are you going with?
And I go a bit... I know, I'll go a bit less, actually. I'll go 14.
Okay, well, you're both absolutely nowhere near. We've only lost 5 times in the
really?
66 appearances.
How many draws?
The league appearances. I don't know. It doesn't give me that stat. Oh, Liverpool in 33 Premier League matches. I can only give you the Premier League matches, sadly. Liverpool have won 18, drawn 12 and lost 3.
Did we lose the beach ball game or did we draw that?
I think that was a draw. What a game. What a goal.
Was that Reina?
Yeah, it was down in Men.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Good times. I lost that,
This one I won't test you on. Sunderland are winless in their last 11 Premier League games against Liverpool. They've drew 5 and lost 6. But when was the last time they did beat Liverpool?
They beat us at Anfield not too long ago, didn't they?
No. How many games? 11?
No, my head's gone. Sunderland was the walkout, wasn't it? No, Sunderland was the draw where we all stood in front of the Kop, so that was 2-2.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think back. It's not hard.
This is Premier League, so...
That was Premier League. Yeah. Last time they beat us. I reckon when were they in? When did they go down 16?
Give me the year.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a year. What else are you expecting? A date?
No, but
I reckon we go for maybe, did they go down in 16 or 17? I reckon we go for 16. I reckon it was actually quite recent. I feel like I've got a recent memory of them beating us on Anfield.
Okay, it was March 2012.
I'm terrible at this, mate.
I was going to leave early for its worth, so we're all good.
The Reds have suffered only 3 defeats in their last 32 league visits to Sunderland, dating back to August 1958. They have won 19 and drawn 10, but 2 of those losses have came in the last 8. Okay. All 3 of Liverpool's Premier League defeats against Sunderland have came away from home. True or false?
Let's we say false.
I'll just say true. Just because 50-50 chance I might win that one.
You've won it, yeah. They've all came away from home, although the Reds are unbeaten in their last 5 visits to the Stadium of Light. Oh, here we go. When was the last meeting on Wayside? Is that how you say it?
Wayside, yeah.
When was the last meeting on Wayside? This actually is quite recent.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can't be that
recent.
Can't be that
recent, but like...
We haven't played them in the cup.
We haven't been up for time.
Okay, but in my head, this is recent.
It'll be 2017, they went down.
I was 2017.
Yeah, 2017. Liverpool led twice through Daniel Sturridge and Sadio Mane. Jermaine Defoe equalised twice from the penalty spot, apparently. Don't remember any of them. I mean, this is just a stat. Sunderland are unbeaten in all 12 of their Premier League home games this season. They've won 7, drew 5. It's the longest run by a promoted side from the start of a top flight season since 1977-78, when Forest remained unbeaten in all 21 en route to winning the title.
I thought they won the league. Genuinely going to say that in the first sentence.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I wasn't born, but I know it's a thing. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry, but this is just shocking. Are you ready? How many games have Liverpool lost of their last 28 midweek Premier League games? That is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday.
The fact you said it was shocking.
Shocking, yeah. I'm thinking it's high.
Makes me think it's quite high. Out of 28 lost, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Well, recently...
We've drew quite a few of them recently. Obviously, we lost the Bournemouth, like.
That was a midweek.
Lost the. Oh yeah, it was
That was a weekend. I want to say 9.
I reckon I'll go down the middle. What was it? 24.
28.
28. I'll say 14.
Okay.
Can't be that high, can it?
Okay. I'll try and help you out. I'm stunned.
Oh, it's
because it's good.
Oh, it's good. Oh,
Yeah.
we thought you think it was bad.
Yeah, one. Liverpool have lost just one of their last 28 midweek games. Considering it feels like we play every midweek. I mean, I know it's not Premier League every week, but that is absolutely mad. They've won 19, drew 8, going 2-0 down at Everton in April 2024. 6 of their last 8 midweek games have been draws then. They've only won 2, with both so far in 2026 finishing 0-0 v Leeds and Arsenal. Sunderland have scored just 19 goals in 33 Premier League meetings with Liverpool. Of all teams to face an opponent 30 plus times, only Middlesbrough v Chelsea have a lower goals per game average, which, you know, might be quite good for
Cause optimism, yeah.
On only 3 occasions in the Premier League have Liverpool failed to win either of the fixtures in a season against Sunderland. That was 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003 and 2011, 2012. Alisson Becker could play his bleep Premier League game for Liverpool. What is the number?
I'm going to
It's a milestone.
I'm not good at quizzes here. We weren't briefed on this quiz, by the way. Otherwise, I would have been in deep revision yesterday.
Normally, it's like double agents, like how many players are playing.
Yeah. This is just like
all in on that.
This is just pre-match stats that I've decided to turn into a quiz.
How long have we had Alisson? So we bought Alisson 17. He's probably had one injury. I'm saying like
one injury.
Well, I'm saying like one big injury. I'm saying like at least 25 league games. Is it just league appearances?
Yeah, Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League appearance milestone.
So it's a milestone, so it's going to be a round number, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be 150, 200, something like that.
I'm thinking, has he already played 200? I don't think so.
Try to 200.
I reckon we go 200, yeah.
It's 250.
Oh, God. We're miles out.
Anyway, that is where we'll finish. No, it wasn't a quiz. It was just stats that I turned into a quiz, because last time on this show, for City, Liverpool did put out a quiz and we all played it. And we were quite shocking at it. I'll ask you the question. How many goals has Mo Salah scored against Manchester City?
League or
just in general?
Just in general.
In general.
Because we got this wrong.
For us? We got it. Well, yeah, you could get it wrong because
it's not like, I want to say it's around 15.
Knowledge, though, less than that.
Less than that, do you think? I'm thinking Champions League, like, didn't he score 2 against the Etihad?
One in the league. Yeah,
Etihad. We literally went through them and still got this wrong, by the way. The answers from the top of my head, there was 9 in there, there was 13 in there,
multiple choice, was it?
And then there was 15.
I'd say 13. I go down the middle.
Down the middle, 13.
Yep, 13 was the correct answer. There also, I think, was a 6 in there, and we were like, let's go 9, because what, you can't, I couldn't remember, but 13 shocked me. Some of them was in games where Liverpool got battered, and I just completely took them away from my memory. But anyway, I'm going to ask you for your predictions quickly, and for your goal scorers, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everybody else, you can get yours in the comments. We'll bring some up after these have told me theirs.
Yeah, I've been dreading this.
I mean, I can look at other Premier League games first if you'd rather.
I've already got mine. I just think I think it's 0-0. Like I'll say 0-0. Like I'll have a point, and I honestly, they've got a -2 goal difference. They don't create a lot of chances, but when they do, they usually score them. However, I know they've only conceded 9 at home. I don't think we're going to score a goal, to be honest. We'll be look shattered after half time, I reckon. And I don't reckon we'll concede one either. I just reckon it'll be 0-0.
On the topic of tonight's fixtures and tomorrow's fixtures, when United play tonight, right? This is leading into
United play West Ham at 8:15 tonight.
And when do Chelsea play? Tomorrow?
Chelsea play tonight against Leeds at 7:30.
There's goals in this game tomorrow night because I think...
How does them fixtures affect goals? The table? Is that what you think of the table?
Yeah, if they both win, I think there's just immense pressure on us. I think it becomes must win. Like Arne Slot already referenced, I think pre-Newcastle it was, that Chelsea turned around their game. That was against West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that sort of put more emphasis on us needing to win. So if this is 24 hours before, he's going to be very aware of just how important it is to pick up 3 points. So I'm going to say there's goals. I'm going to say we win 2-1. I'm going to say Wirtz and Ekitike. Why not?
Wonderful. I will go with a... Oh, no. I'll go with... What did you say? 2-1?
2-1. I think it's must win. I think it becomes must win after tonight. If it isn't already.
It's hard. I think I'll go with a 1-1. Sorry, I think it'll be tough. Like, sorry, I was laughing throughout that because I read this out in my head. 1-0, 30-yard screamer from Ramsey.
I'm here for it.
I am here for it. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
The odds to be sky high on that. I reckon he puts it on.
I know, yeah. Do it. 2-2, Liverpool 1-0 up until the 85th, and then lose 3-1. Everyone's feeling great. What time's the watch along? Someone's asked.
We will go live at what time's kick-off? 8:15.
8:15.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare maths-wise. That. Aaron, do you shout something then? 5 to 7, 6:55. That is in old money. The reason I don't know the answer to that
You're not on it
because I'm not on it.
Oh my God. Do you want to go to the game?
That's the first. Yeah, I might want to go up to Sunderland. Yeah, that's the first.
Okay, I can help you out with that.
I'm not working tomorrow night, which is a rarity.
I didn't know that. Otherwise, I'd have asked you a long time ago if you wanted to join me for this game of football.
Let's do that instead.
Okay. Someone's put 1-1. We've got a 3-0 easy game. Okay.
What land's he living in, honestly?
I like how JD has said every game from now until the end of the season is a must win.
It's probably fair.
No, he's definitely right. It's more like just being a realist. Like, I just don't think we will.
Anyway, that has been the end of this show. Thanks so much for joining us. Do join us for the watch along. Me and Dan will not be there, but do join us for it. We will probably be in the stadium now. Yeah.
I think so.
Anyway, thanks so much. See you all next time.